Hello, my name is Kazi Rouf. I am talking now community banking, Ontario, Altana Savings, British Columbia's Van City and Bangladesh Social Business Gramin Bank strive to social economy. I am presenting this paper to Sustainable Community Business Conference, Community Economic Development Institute and Tompkins Institute, Breton University, Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada, July 13 to 15, 2011. You know, I, Kazi Rouf, worked so many years with different macro credit institutions in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Namibia, Lesotho, Philippines, USA, and Canada. I find that community banking is very close to marginalized people. And marginalized people, poor people, are very comfortable to work with this community banking agency. So today, this micro community banking is very important. It's crucial. Why? Private sector inequality and world poverty. Because of private sector inequality and world poverty, corporations have grown immensely powerful in the last 2 decades. Private sector is maximizing profits. Canada's top 100 CEOs took in on average 7.3 million each in 2008 compared to 3.5 million in 1998. So the payment package of average CEO in the top 100 was equal to that of 174 average workers in 2008. Half of the world's population control only 15% of its wealth, and 10% of the population control 85% of the world's wealth. In states, 1% people control wealth of 90% bottom people's whole wealth. 67% of the world women live below poverty line. Asian women have only 1% of wealth in the world, yet they do 66% of work. If we look at the Canadian economy, in 1990 to 2008, the value of the Canadian economy more than doubled, 680 million to 1.6 trillion. Nation's net worth tripled from approximately 2 trillion to just over $6 trillion. High rates of poverty among working age adults. By 2009, food bank uses in Ontario had soared to over 350,000 people a month. So, why in this situation microcredit institutions and social business in Canada is very important to address the issue of poverty to address the issues of marginalized people's standard of living. Because 5 million Canadians are living below poverty level, it is about 20% of the total population. I can say 16% population lives below poverty line. It is statistics, 2010. Almost 1 billion children live below the poverty line. 19% of adult women are below low income level. Number of higher poverty neighborhoods is increasing in the city of Toronto, doubling every 10 years. Actually, these were surveyed. A survey was conducted by United Way, by postal code. So their details are the pocket poverty in the city. So microfinance institutions and social business institutions, social economic institutions can generate self-employment in the community, and that can be one of the options to earn income and to be self-employed. Micro-business institutions and social business organizations are promoting micro-enterprises, green businesses, green jobs, and social economy in the society. Canadian microfinance institutions have a limited scale of operation. So you see, this is one of the problems in Canada. Small entrepreneurs are suffering from lack of business capital and self-employment counseling problems. 67% of current independent small business owners started their micro business from scratch. 24% brought business capital from friends and relatives. 23% of business were initiated from the family. Micro entrepreneurs consistently lack social economic services, the established business information, support and funding. Employment and settlement counseling services do not provide pre and post self-employment counseling services to unemployed people and small and medium enterprise development to inform micro entrepreneurs. So the information on self-employment counseling services and self-employment assistance, it is called CRSEA in Toronto, from community counseling services are very limited. Although the program is there, but community counseling services, they actually do not give much more information about self-employment counseling services. Even I talk with very good community settlement counseling services, counselors, they say they do not know even self-employment program, SEA, Ontario program, and they do not know even the skills, they don't have the skills too. Therefore, small entrepreneurs are often unable to get information about small, medium enterprise development program that is actually the government already put in place to develop their small businesses, to promote their, to set up their green businesses in the society, in Toronto as well as in Canada. So it is not massively actually promoted, massively not expanding small business in Canada. If we look to Bangladesh context, compare that, you see, we find 155 million people in 55,000 square miles. The density of population is 1,236. Whereas Canadian population, density of population is only 123. And it has huge natural resources. And it has less natural calamity than Bangladesh. The literacy rate is 43%, rural literacy rate even less. People face food, flood, cyclone, droughts, political chaos, and other irregularities in their life every year. 49% of the total population lives below the national poverty line. However, 57% of the population was below the poverty line in 2003. You see, within a few years, the poverty rate declined. No safety net for the poor people by the state. Manufacturing industries are dying. Crisis in land water resources for agriculture irrigation. Underground water is contaminated by arsenic. So in this situation, you see, by utilizing Grameen Bank microloans in 83,700 villages in Bangladesh, there are 8.5 million Grameen Bank borrowers have been involved in social businesses, small businesses, micro businesses. 135 million microloans is disbursed every month, and 125 million loans repaid every month. 97% is the loan repayment rate. 58% of its borrowers cross poverty line. It is one of the study made by Grameen Bank as well as in some Bangladesh Institute for Development Studies and World Bank. So Grameen Bank 16 decisions, socio-economic and environmental messages, a consciousness raising campaign and leadership development process empower women. It is not only give microcredit to the people, it also have some other total package, development package for 16 decisions, which has these socio-economic environmental messages to these people, and they not only messages also need to implement, they need to make it action in their family lives, day-to-day life. So this whole process actually empower the women not only economically but also socially, culturally, community level. Attending the group and center meeting, weekly meeting, bridges the gap between the public and private realm of women. So as external funding, public grants are limited, many non-profit organizations included microfinance institutions in their program to earn and cover their cost. So they are very popular, but microfinance institutions, they cover their own cost, as well as they provide services to the people. And that's why it is very popular in Bangladesh, and because it is also in terms of financial sustainability, recovery cost recovery method. So that is that's why the microfinance institutions can serve the people as well as they can also economically, financially also can serve the people. No need too much 100% depend on external funding. So I find one study, 2009, says a report, one article says that written by Dr. Mohidin Khan Alamgir, a big economist in Bangladesh, and he mentioned in his article that microfinance institutions in Bangladesh has served more than 34 million marginalized poor people in Bangladesh. The other microfinance institutions, Grameen Bank, Asha, Bragg, Cooperative, Those are the institutions. And microfinance institutions address the issue of poverty as well as illiteracy. So cooperatives in Canada. So this group-based microcredit, I would like to say that it is actually mini cooperatives. Now I am going to discuss the cooperatives in Canada. There were 5,753 non-financial cooperatives with 6.5 million members, 85,000 employees, and 27 billion revenues and 18 billion assets. So you see, in Canada, cooperatives is really in a good shape and good way. It's working. In Canada also, 1,140 credit unions with 3,400 service locations served to 10.5 million members by 67,000 employees, and their assets is 249 billion assets. Huge, eh? Financial cooperatives transacts 13% of Canadian financial GDP for the financial sector. Desjardins, which is originated from Winnipeg Credit Union, is a successful financial national microcredit union working across Canada. So in Ontario, there are more than 46,000 social economic organizations whose collective total revenue is approximately $66 billion for 2007. 1% of these organizations account for 20 billion of these revenues. 16% of all non-financial cooperatives in Canada account for 11% total revenues. Promotes local living economics, green enterprises, and social solidarity in the community. Create self-employment opportunities in the community. Promotes local crafts, local businesses, and social networking among community people. The cooperatives have contributed to the well-being and economic growth in Quebec. Non-profit organizations and trusts in Canada generate 112 billion of revenues. They have 2 million employees. They all add 7% to Canada GDP. The Statistics Canada 2006. A tiny percentage of US firms employ about half of the nation's salaried workers. You see how much strong these cooperative initiatives. In terms of Canadian microfinance institutions, Vancity, Alternate Savings, Riverdale Community Loan Fund, Ottawa Community Micro Loan Fund, and those are working for some decades. Say for example, Alternate Savings Community Micro Loan Fund working in Toronto and serve to provide small loan from $500 to $15,000. The same thing, Vancity Community Banking, they also provide the same thing. And another popular organization in Ottawa is Ottawa Community Microloan Fund. The Momentum Calgary, St. John's Community Loan Fund, Cooperative International Institute, and other microfinance institutions in Canada have more than 1,000 micro borrowers in Canada. So Cooperative International Institute is famous for microfinance institutions training and cooperative training. You see, the whole country only 1,000 micro borrowers. So it needs to scale. Unfortunately, this microfinance sector is underrepresented in business and economic textbooks. Microfinance institutions are community economic organizations that have a social missions in addition to their economic services. Microfinance institutions are regarded as social business organizations, social enterprises, green enterprises, human economics, bio-enterprises, and community-based economic organizations. Their aims are to operate without loss. The Canadian social economic organizations, social economic organizations are prevalent in Winnipeg than in the rest of Canada and have been operating for a long time. In Canada, many social economic organizations are receiving government funding like Canada Community Future Development Corporation, Community Development Corporations, Winnipeg, Canada Health Network, Canada Institute for Health Information, CIHI, Canadian Alternative Investment Cooperative, and Canadian Community Investment Network Cooperatives, CCINC. Many NGOs currently charge fees for their services to cover some of their costs. So now I'm going to discuss the Grameen hybrid social business in Bangladesh, Grameen Danone, Grameen Viola water, Grameen mosquito nets in Bangladesh. These social business hybrids are earning revenue from selling their products at cheaper prices in Bangladesh. Grameen Creative Lab in Wiesbaden, Germany provides information about social businesses and supports new social businesses by others. The hybrid organizational models, social business funding models and operational strategies are unknown to public, but these informations are very important. At the end, I would like to quote two peoples, Canadian people. One is Senator David Crowell. He made this statement in 1972. You can say that he pretended, he forecast something, warning to us, warned us. The poor of Canada are largely an invisible problem. They are with us, but not to us, not of us. We know they exist, and most of us believe something should be done about it, but that's about it. You see? So the action program, some intensive, massive scaling programs are needed to serve these outreach people. So outreach program. Another one, James Swift, Bryce Balmer, and Mira Denine in 2010 says the rise of the rich, a squeezed middle class, and the revival of working poor, that is what we accomplished during the best decade of the economic growth in 40 years. So lastly, I would like to say again that benefits of social businesses are enormous. Federal government of Canada stated in 2010 that it is time for small business as usual, but social business environment is a little more ferocious than usual. Reducing dependency on public funding, donor funding, covert costs from selling products or investments, social economic organizations can address the above-mentioned issues in an accountable and transparent manner. In Canada, cooperatives and non-profits have millions of members and manage millions of dollars every year. In Bangladesh, Grameen Bank, Grameen Danone, FRAC, ASHA, Nizara Kori, Padakhap, those and many other microfinance institutions and NGOs in Canada, Van City, Metri Foundation, the Harlem Children's June, and in Canada, they are all social business organizations, social economic organizations, cooperative and credit unions that have contributed both socially and economically to people. Lastly, I would say that so in Canada, as well as in Bangladesh, also they need a future research and development. The university research centers can promote the development of future social businesses in Canada as well as in Bangladesh. A study that would compare and contrast social business in Canada and Bangladesh would assist social economic organizations, practitioners learn from each other from these two countries. So this is my little bit long presentation to you to discuss to discuss with all of you, share my experience for the last decades. I work and I'm compassion for these many cooperative, credit unions, social business organizations that can help to eradicate, to set up a social justice, a social equality, economic equality, and to address the issue of poverty and to empower the women. So this is my short presentation. I'm really happy you are with me. If any questions, any suggestions, please comments, please feel free to ask me. So thank you once again. Bye. Hello, my name is Kazi Rouf. I am talking this seminar about citizenship learning, participatory democracy and microfinancing, Grameen Bank in post-colonial Bangladesh. I am presenting this paper at Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, University of Toronto, May 2005-2011, Dean Research Conference, University of Toronto. I'm going to discuss here that democracy, representative democracy, participatory democracy, and Grameen Bank participatory democracy, a process that helps these marginalized people in Bangladesh to learn their citizenship learning. Despite Grameen Bank does not directly involve itself in citizenship learning to its clients, the skills, knowledge, practice, confidence, and empowerment they gain through participation with Grameen Bank constitute a fundamental process of democracy and a vital source of citizenship and democratic education. So, I have a question in my study. How can the economic side of Grameen Bank microfinancing can be used to support citizenship learning and participatory democracy? So why I am talking that citizenship learning and participatory democracy is important in Bangladesh? One of the top 10 most corrupt country in the world, according to Amnesty International 2006, is Bangladesh. It is sad for us. Although Bangladesh has a lot of positive things, Bangladesh has a peace mission is world famous, and Grameen Bank microfinance is world famous. Professor Mohammed Yunus received Nobel Peace Prize. Non-formal education through BRAC. These are a lot of positive examples we have in Bangladesh. But unfortunately, also it is a lot of corruption in the country. Current context of party politics and democratic chaos, no infrastructure development, both physical and social, especially, the health, public health sector, public health hospitals, public universities, public colleges are expanding. Microfinance institutions, NGOs are serving service delivery agencies. Adults have no citizenship basic education, formal, informal both. Bureaucracy embedded everywhere, no innovations, deliberative democracy versus participatory democracy. The Argentina, they have developed participatory democracy, participatory budget in Port Alegre. So such kind of thing, participatory democracy has a great contribution to address the poverty. Representative democracy is one dimension. I can say that it is one way of talking. It is called thin democracy, limited to challenge the equitable development in Bangladesh. Poor people are excluded from public decision-making processes. Participatory democracy is an inclusive process of deliberation. But, for example, participatory budget is a tool that promotes participatory democracy that you find in Port Alegre municipality decision-making process. Here in Toronto social housing, Toronto Community Housing Corporation, Community Social Housing, Community TCHC Housing Corporation, they also started the participatory budget process. In Grameen Bank also have participatory democracy process, the system. For example, Grameen Bank, 5 members together elect one chairs among the 5 people and a center chief among the 30 to 60 workers. And they these group chairs and group chiefs elected by rotation annually. They repay the loans in weekly center meetings where these women come together, sit together, repay the loan, not only repay the loan, but also discuss their business, share information. They also share their day-to-day life experiences, and they also discuss who is going to take how much loan. They review the loan proposal among the group within the center, and after reviewing the loan proposal from the members, from the group and center, the loan proposal send it to the bank representative. The bank representative also mutually discuss in the center for optimum loan size. And when this center agreed, and the bank representative then simply goes to the bank manager and he signs the paper. So I can say that it is a participatory loan proposal and approval process. And 16 slogans, Grameen Bank 16 slogan, a combination of socio, civic and economic motto. However, there are some problems, challenges. Grameen Bank borrowers are economic actors instead of civic actors in the society. Borrowers unable to transfer their Grameen Bank knowledge, skills, practice to civic council development as like as economic actors. In one of my study, I find that more than 96% women borrowers now become economic actors. They become involved in economic activities in the family, directly involved. So, on the other hand, in Bangladesh, microfinance institutions and non-government organizations are regulated. Proshika Nijarakori Ganashahajya Sanstha has started to provide some citizen skill development, but there are some restrictions on from the public sector. And even the Proshika, they stopped their activities. So what would be the alternatives here? Use civic education instead of using war political learning. So if we use the political learning, then maybe it will be some sort of problem in the public sector, public institutions. So we can use the civic education. And we can say the public space development. It is not for political power, it is for public space development. Encourage micro borrowers to initiate networking among themselves and to share information with the community. Microfinance institutions and non-government organizations should conduct workshops, mobilize poor people and discuss citizenship basics to them, with them, among them. Encourage beneficiaries to organize themselves and liaison with councillors, local councillors, not to be isolated that this guy will say, oh, the local councillors. So we should not be like that. And encourage poor people to be close to the power. They should have some link with the power, those in the society. So this is in my short presentation regarding microverse, more civic skills development in Bangladesh. But I agree that Grameen Bank has a participatory democratic process through its structure, through its process, through its system, like members select group chairs, select center chief, select board of directors, and as well as to approve the micro loan. So loan process is also a democratic process. So I would like to say that, but this is the democratic process started, but some civic knowledge also need to be disseminated to people so that they can have some more citizens skill development in Bangladesh. Thank you for all of you listening to my presentation. If you have any question, please feel free to ask or comments. So I'm here. Bye.